What to do pag nagtantrum si baby? Iyak din ako, charot. Plans sa wedding or sister or brother ni River. Did you ever use birth control when you started becoming sexually active? Girl, kung meron akong birth control, di ako mabubuntis. Nakahiga lang ako doon, hawa yung baby ko ganyan. Tapos tinatahi ng doktor yung pekpek ko, di ba ganon? Oh my God, why am I crying?
Hi, Bobby. Hi, my love. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, my baby. Oh, my baby. Yes. Yeah. Your hand, please. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Other hand first. Yes, I know, I know, I know. Wait, wait, wait. She's first. Okay, okay. Your hair, your hair. No.
Hey guys. So I've been MIA for like a week or so because I've been insecure. Yeah, I've been insecure and I've been struggling a lot with filming and talking in front of the camera. So I just didn't film. But now I am in a good mood and lately life has been really great. So I thought I would film again and just answer some questions from December. Probably an obvious question, but describe what it feels like to give birth. Okay, you guys. Okay, this is the question, you guys, that I get a lot, and I really wanted to talk about it in detail. That's why I wrote so much. So, yeah. Okay, before I talk about my experience, I wanted to share with you guys the common misconceptions that people have about childbirth. These things are ideas that I also used to believe in before I experienced pregnancy myself. The first misconception is about the water breaking. In movies, you'll know that the pregnant character is about to give birth when you see water gushing down her legs or when she says, "My water just broke." So I thought that I thought it would happen to me, but when the time came that I was about to give birth, I couldn't even tell that I was about to give birth already. I didn't even notice my water breaking actually. So real life is a lot less dramatic than movies, and only 10 to 15% of labors actually begin with the waters breaking. The next misconception is that moms instantly bond with their babies. And you know what? It's okay if you don't immediately feel a connection with your baby, because after you give birth, you're going to be so tired, so exhausted, and like you're drugged with anesthesia that you probably won't even remember you probably won't even know what's happening around you. So the idea or the pressure that society gives women in terms of like feeling grateful or having this connection or bond with your baby right after you give birth, it's not doing any good to women, because sometimes it takes a while for you to have that maternal instinct and that connection with your baby, and that's totally okay. I feel like we shouldn't pressure moms to be like this perfect person, because it's really hard to give birth, you guys, and to have a baby. The next misconception is about screaming when giving birth. are actually not allowed to scream when you're giving birth, or I mean, I wouldn't say it's not allowed, but your doctors are probably going to ask you to save your breath and your strength, because every time you scream, you are losing energy, I guess. But when I was giving birth, sabi sa akin nung, tatagalan lang ako guys, okay? Nung nanganganak ako, sabi sa akin nung doctor, huwag ka sumigaw kasi maghihina ka or mauubos na yung hangin ko. Kasi pag nagpo-push ka, kailangan madami kang hangin kasi ang tagal nung push guys, okay, hindi siya madali. So ayun, hindi ka pwede sumigaw pag nanganganak ka guys. And it's for your own good naman. Enough about the misconceptions. I'm going to now talk about my birth experience. Okay. So I felt my contractions on Christmas Day, not Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So the 25th. So nung 25th, na-feel ko na may contractions ako, ganyan. But I wasn't really sure if I was about to give birth already. Because when you're pregnant, you experience like contractions every now and then. So I thought it was just normal contractions. But it was more frequent. So, and it was actually really painful. So I thought, baka ito na yun, baka manganganak na ako, ganyan. Pag Pasko kasi, di ba, parang walang masyadong bumiyahe, ganyan. So, we couldn't get a car. And it was also raining. So, it was really a struggle to get a cab. My boyfriend had to get an ambulance. And it was actually my first time riding an ambulance. Not that it matters. But, I don't know, it was cool. Because, anyway, when we got to the clinic, the nurse checked if I was dilated already. And she inserted her like fingers in mine, and she said I was about to give birth already. And I was so surprised because I was 3 weeks early and I wasn't expecting it yet. So I was just, I don't know, I was just really surprised, and I didn't think it would be that chill or easy, I guess. I was thinking it would be more dramatic or like, hey, I'm about to give birth, like, oh my god, nah, nah. But actually I even had to walk down 4 flights of stairs. And then after like I think 2 or 3 hours, the nurse and the doctor told me that I was about to deliver my baby. And the nurse shaved my, and the doctor got me on anesthesia, I think. I don't even remember. And then, yeah, I gave birth. I was pushing and pushing, and you know what? Sobrang hirap talaga, guys. Hindi siya sobrang, I mean, masakit siya, pero hindi siya like sobrang sakit. Pero sobrang hirap niya kasi hindi ko alam kung paano. It's my first time, and you would expect that the people around you would be more supportive, more encouraging. But the doctor kept telling like, oh, Mika, ano ba yan? Hindi na naman lumabas si baby. Like, what the heck? I'm trying my best, Tapos sabi ko sa kanya, you should encourage me. This is my first time. Blah, blah, blah. I was like really not having any of it because guys, it's so painful. It's so hard. And I just don't need that negativity in my life. Tapos nung hindi talaga lumalabas si River, yung nurse, like, tinulak niya yung tiyan ko. Girl, ang bigat. Tapos sabi ko, wait, kaya ko na to. Ang bigat, ang sakit. O, diba ang arte ko? Anyway, it took about, I think, 3 hours of delivery because it was really hard. You guys, ang hirap manganak talaga. Ayoko na maulit yung sa buhay ko. Pero, after nun, para siyang, if you've ever seen a horse give birth, it's like that, you guys. The baby is just gonna gush out of your vagina, okay? Oh, and another thing, I didn't even feel it, but the doctor she made an incision on my vagina. Vagina? Okay, anyway, so she did that. After I gave birth, I thought I would be able to rest already. And, like, oh my god, it's finally over. But it turns out that you need skin-to-skin contact with your baby right after you give birth. And I was like, what, right now? So I was like carrying my son on my chest like this, and everyone was trying to clean me up. So, ang weird, diba? Parang nakahiga lang ako doon, hawak yung baby ko, ganyan. Tapos tinatahi ng doktor yung pekpek ko, diba? Ganon. Tapos, nililinis niya din yung, what do you call this? Placenta. Oh my god. She was cleaning my placenta while I was having skin-to-skin contact with my baby. Oh my god, that was the weirdest feeling ever. Anyway, after that, I got changed and I got cleaned up and we finally got to rest. So that was my birthing story, you guys. Next question. Any preparation that you did to become a wife and a mom? Di pa ako wife, so preparation, I did a lot of research, and for the first few weeks I was really paranoid because there's this thing called, what do you call this? I forgot what it's called, but a lot of babies, not a lot, but there are babies who die randomly with no reason at all. They just die like on their first few months, and I was really paranoid. I'm not gonna cry, but I thought River was going to die like in the first few weeks. Like every day I kept checking if he was breathing because I was so paranoid. I didn't even answer a question, but yeah, I researched a lot.
I just want to quickly shed a light on the thing that I was talking about, which is SIDS, or Sudden Infant Death Syndrome, where babies die during their sleep. Sometimes it's also called crib death because the infants often die in their cribs. And the cause is unknown, so it's really scary, and it can happen during the first few months of the baby.
Plans sa wedding or sister or brother ni River. Wedding, my boyfriend and I are not talking about it yet because we want to do it when things are okay already, and we don't really have the funds right now since we just moved. Sister or brother, ayoko ng mga nakulit, so River is probably going to be my only child, and a lot of people tell me that it's going to be sad because it's going to be sad for him to not have siblings, but I personally think that people should mind their own business. What if your what ifs after having a baby? Oh, my what ifs. I don't really have a lot of what ifs because I feel like those kinds of thoughts are not really helpful, but I do have one what if. I never really got to experience living alone or living with a friend. Yeah, I just wished I was able to experience living by myself and having like a place of my own without my significant other and my baby. How do you guys budget your expenses? Any investments? I am the worst person to ask about budgeting because right now we don't really have a lot of furniture or appliances in our house, so every time I earn money I immediately purchase appliances or the stuff that we need in our home, so we're not able to save as much as we want to. But I guess the advice that I could give you is just set aside extra money every month or every week. Kahit maliit lang yung amount, kung may natatabi ka pag naipon yan, magiging malaki din. Who is the breadwinner of your family? Parang wala. Selfish kami mga anak eh. Pero I'm just very lucky because my parents don't expect or they don't ask anything from me and my siblings. They just want us to have a good life. They just want us to live good lives and, you know, support ourselves financially, but they're not expecting anything in return. Best advice for couples, communication, guys. Yun lang yan. Craziest part of being a first-time mom. Craziest part is just being with a human being that, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Why am I crying? Oh my god. So the craziest part for me is just having another person like love you unconditionally. Oh my god, why am I crying? Because every time I look at River, and even when I'm like frustrated or I'm tired, he's still like, what the heck? Anyway, so yeah, it's just so crazy that he could be so loving and so innocent, you know, like he would never get mad at me. He just loves me or exists for my existence and just for being me. What the heck? Anyway, guys, that was the craziest part. That's the craziest part of being a first-time mom. You know, you get to experience another person just loving you so much, even though you feel like you're not doing your best or you're not enough. Normal or CS delivery? Normal delivery, as I said, I was struggling with the delivery, guys. Ang hirap ng anak. Did you breastfeed River? Yes, oh no, actually I did not breastfeed like, you know, on my boob, but I did feed him breast milk. What I did was I what I did was I pumped my milk regularly and I transferred it to a bottle, and that's what I fed River. What's your fave moment with River? Fave moment? I don't know. It's hard to... honestly, I don't even remember like what happened yesterday or the day before. Because when you get pregnant and you give birth, your memory goes bad. Nabasa ko lang yun sa Google. Pero sobrang makakalimutin ko na ngayon. So, ang naaalala ko lang is kung ano yung mga sinusulat ko sa journal ko. But my favorite moments with River are all the moments that he's laughing and he's happy. Pag masaya siya, masaya din ako. Did you ever use birth control when you started becoming sexually active? If yes, what kind? Girl, kung meron akong birth control, di ako mabubuntis. Kasi hindi naman siya tinuturo sa Catholic school. So wala akong alam sa birth control, okay? And that's my fault. Because I didn't research about it and I didn't care about it. But now that I have given birth and I know what it's like to have a baby, I am more careful now because it's a 24/7 lifelong commitment, you guys. So now I'm on the pill, but I am considering taking an implant yung dito lang sa arm. Initially, I wanted an IUD, but I watched several YouTube videos of women talking about their experience, and I really don't want to experience that. Did you live with your parents after giving birth? If not, how was the process of finding your own place? When I was pregnant, I was a freelancer. I didn't have like a stable job, so I couldn't really get a place of my own. So after I gave birth, I was living with my dad for like, I think 5 months or 6 months before moving to the province and then moving back to Manila to get our own place. How was the process of finding your own place? I just searched online since I'm not really able to go around Manila and look for apartments. I just went to rentpad.ph and themoody.ph. I will link down the websites on my description box so you guys can check where I got my apartment. What to do pag nagtantrum si Bibi? Iyak din ako, charot. Ginagawa ko lang pagka umiyak na siya is I just carry him and try my best to console him and comfort him. I don't want to get mad at my child because he's not going to understand what I'm saying. So there's really no other option for me but to comfort him and make him feel safe and loved and cared for. Yeah. What would you name River if he was a girl? By the way, he looks just like you. What would I name? Actually, the first time I had my ultrasound, the doctor told me that I was going to have a baby girl. I know, oh my God, scammer yung doktor. Pero, akala nga namin na babae yung magiging anak ko. So, ang choice ko nun is Maya. But, he's not a girl. So, we ended up with River. Kapag absolute safe na, dadalhin niyo po ba baby niyo sa shoots? Girl, ba't ko dadalhin anak ko sa trabaho? I mean, if my client wants to meet my son, sige, dadalhin ko siya. Pero, trabaho kasi yung shoot, so hindi ko naman dadalhin anak ko dun. How did you cope up with PPD? Postpartum depression. I'm not sure if I even had postpartum depression, but I was very emotional the first few months. I kept on crying, not because I was depressed, but I was just feeling so overwhelmed and grateful for the people around me. I was lucky enough to be around my sister and my boyfriend who were so supportive and helpful, and I don't know, I was just so grateful and overwhelmed. And I felt so loved kasi ang hirap talaga ng recovery process. Tapos yung kapatid ko, sinusuotan niya ako ng diaper, guys. Sino hindi maiyak doon? Tell us about your postpartum journey and how you deal with it, especially the healing process. The postpartum journey, guys, mas mahirap pa yung postpartum kaysa sa panganganak, sa totoo lang. Kasi ang daming kailangan mag-heal sa katawan mo. Yung, first of all, yung hiwa sa pepe ko, ayan. Ang hirap nun, guys. Kailangan kong maligo sa tubig na merong dahon ng bayabas. Tapos, after mo manganak, syempre may laman pa yung tiyan mo, diba? Meron pang remnants ng pregnancy mo. So, your body is going to bleed for like a week or so, siguro 2 to 3 weeks, magbe-bleed yung katawan mo ng malala. Tapos, on top of that, you also have to breastfeed. In my case, I just pump my milk. You have to breastfeed your child every 2 hours kasi gigising siya ng gigising. So, imagine, naghihil pa yung katawan mo pero wala kang tulog. Tapos, guys, on top of that, magsasweat ka ng sobra. Pero hindi ka pwedeng mag-aircon ng malamig kasi baka lamigin yung anak mo. So, magtitiis ka sa sobrang init, sa sobrang pawis. On top of that, nag-adjust din yung body mo kasi yung hormones nagbabalance or whatever. So, iiyak ka din ng iiyak habang naghihil yung katawan mo at nagpapadede ka ng anak mo at nagpapawis ka at wala kang tulog. So, guys, postpartum is really difficult. You know what? After I gave birth, I had newfound respect for my mom and for all the moms out there kasi ibang klase talaga. I finally understood what my mom or my dad went through and it made me see them in a different light. So that was everything. I answered all the questions. Thank you guys for sending them to me, and I'm so sorry if I wasn't articulate in explaining, but yeah. Let's go. Yep.